Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today we are talking about something that every single English learner wants to know. How do you practice English every day at home when you do not live in an English-speaking country, when you do not have native speaker friends nearby, and when life is busy and time is limited?
Yes, and this is such an important question because so many learners feel stuck. They study grammar in a classroom or online, they do exercises, they understand the rules, but then they close their book and they feel like they're not actually getting better at using the language in real life. The gap between studying English and living in English can feel enormous.
But here's the truth. Your home is one of the best classrooms you will ever have because it is always available. It's free, it's private, and you can make it as English as you want. You just need to know how to do it.
And today we're going to go through specific, practical methods you can use every single day at home to build real English ability. Not just knowledge of English, but the ability to actually use it.
Let's start with the most important principle. Daily contact with English matters more than occasional long sessions. 20 minutes every day is worth far more than 3 hours on Sunday. So the goal is to weave English into the daily habits and routines you already have. Not to find extra time, but to change what you do with the time you already use.
That's such a key point. You're not looking for extra hours in your day. You're looking for moments you already have and replacing what you do in those moments with something in English.
So let's go through the day and look at the natural moments where English can fit.
First thing in the morning, when you wake up and check your phone, most people scroll through social media or news. What if you changed your phone language to English? What if you followed 5 or 10 English language accounts on whatever platform you use? You're already going to look at your phone anyway. Make those minutes English minutes.
And instead of reading news in your first language, read a short English news article. It doesn't have to be a whole newspaper. One article, 5 to 10 minutes. You learn vocabulary in context, you read naturally formed sentences, and you start your day with your brain in English mode.
While you're getting ready in the morning, brushing your teeth, making coffee, getting dressed, you have time in your head. Fill that time with English. Listen to a short English podcast while you make breakfast. Even if you only half listen, your ear is getting exposure to natural speech rhythms and real vocabulary.
And this is important. The listening doesn't have to be a formal English lesson. It can be a podcast about anything you're interested in. Cooking, fitness, news, true crime, business, travel. The topic should interest you because interest keeps you engaged. The language is English. That's what matters.
Now let's talk about something that a lot of learners overlook, talking to yourself. This sounds strange, but it's one of the most powerful and most private ways to practice speaking at home.
When you're doing things around the house, describe what you're doing in English. I'm washing the dishes. The water is quite hot today. I need to dry these glasses carefully. This sounds childish, but it's not. You're doing something incredibly valuable. You're building the habit of thinking in English rather than thinking in your first language and then translating.
That translation habit is one of the things that slows down fluency the most. When you have to think something in your language and then convert it to English, everything slows down. But when you practice thinking directly in English, your response speed improves dramatically.
And when you're alone, you can also have imaginary conversations in English. Prepare what you would say in a situation. Practice introducing yourself. Practice talking about your day. Practice describing your job or your neighborhood. You don't need a partner for this. Your voice and your mind are enough.
If you want to take this further, record yourself. Use your phone to record a short 1 to 2 minute talk in English about anything. Your day, a film you watched, something you read, your plans for the weekend. Then listen back. You'll hear things you want to improve, and you'll track your progress over weeks and months.
Recording yourself is uncomfortable at first. Most people hate the sound of their own voice, but it's genuinely one of the most useful things a learner can do, because it makes you hear yourself the way others hear you. It reveals pronunciation habits and grammar patterns you might not be aware of.
Now let's talk about watching and listening. This is where a lot of people already spend time. television, streaming services, online videos. And the good news is that with a few simple adjustments, this time can become serious English practice.
If you're watching a film or show in your own language with subtitles in your own language, that's enjoyable, but it's not practicing English. To make it English practice, you need to either watch something in English or watch it with English subtitles.
For beginners, watching English content with subtitles in your own language is completely fine. You're hearing the sounds and rhythms of English, even if you're reading in your language. Over time, as you improve, switch to English subtitles. You read and hear at the same time. This is enormously helpful for vocabulary and listening.
And eventually, watch with no subtitles at all. You won't understand everything. That's completely normal. But the more you do it, the more your ear adjusts to natural spoken English.
A great technique is to watch a short scene, 2 to 3 minutes, in English. Then watch the same scene again with subtitles. Then try to say a few of the lines out loud yourself. This is called shadowing, and it is one of the most effective techniques for improving pronunciation and speaking rhythm.
Shadowing means you follow the speaker as closely as possible. You try to match their speed, their pronunciation, their intonation. Your mouth and your brain are learning the physical act of producing English. It is like learning to sing a song. You hear it, you repeat it, and your body learns the shape of it.
Now let me talk about reading at home. Reading is one of the most accessible and flexible ways to practice English. You can do it anywhere, at any time, with no special equipment.
Read things that genuinely interest you. If you enjoy cooking, read recipes in English. If you're into fitness, read fitness articles in English. If you like fashion, technology, history, psychology, there's endless English content about all of those things online.
And when you read, do not stop at every unknown word and look it up. That breaks the flow and makes reading feel like hard work. Instead, read for meaning and understanding. If you understand the general meaning of a paragraph, even without knowing every word, that is successful reading. You can note the unknown words afterward and look them up together.
The point of reading is to absorb the language in natural context. You encounter grammar naturally. You see how sentences are structured. You see vocabulary used in real situations. This passive absorption builds a foundation that conscious grammar study alone cannot build.
Now let me talk about writing at home, because speaking and writing practice are the two active skills that require you to produce language, not just receive it.
Keep a simple English journal. It does not have to be long. Write 5 to 10 sentences every day about what you did, what you thought, what you felt, what you saw, what you plan to do. Write in the past for things that already happened. Write in the future for plans.
The journal does not have to be perfect. Do not worry about making mistakes. The goal is to form the habit of producing English. Every day you write, you are making your brain find English words, arrange them in English grammar, and express real thoughts. That's real learning.
If you want your writing corrected, there are many online communities where learners post short texts and native speakers or advanced learners give friendly feedback. The website language exchange platforms and apps allow you to share writing and get corrections.
And speaking of apps, let us talk about language exchange, because this is how you can practice speaking with real people without leaving your home.
Language exchange means you help someone learn your language and they help you practice English. You both benefit. The sessions can be as short as 15 minutes, and they happen through video call apps that are already on your phone.
These conversations do not have to be formal. You can talk about your lives, your interests, your culture. You're practicing real conversation with a real person. The difference between this and talking to yourself is enormous, because another person responds, surprises you, uses vocabulary you might not have prepared for. That improvisation is exactly what real fluency requires.
Now let me talk about something that many learners never think about, but that can make a big difference. Changing the language of everything digital in your life.
Your phone settings, your computer operating system, the apps you use, your social media, your email client. Change all of these to English. Every time you read a notification, every time you navigate a menu, every time you see an error message, you are reading English. These tiny moments add up over days and weeks and months.
When you search for things online, search in English. When you have a question about something, type it in English and read the results in English. This forces you to think in English to get what you want, and it exposes you to real, functional, useful English in context.
Now, let me talk about what doesn't work as well as it feels like it should, because some habits feel like English practice but actually contribute very little.
Watching English content with subtitles in your own language. We mentioned this earlier. You can hear English sounds, but your brain is processing meaning in your language. You're barely learning English. Switch to English subtitles as soon as you can.
Memorizing lists of vocabulary words without context. You may remember some of them for a day or two, but without seeing them used in sentences, they fade quickly. Learn vocabulary in sentences, in context, in things you read or hear.
Doing grammar exercises without ever using the grammar in real speech or writing. Grammar knowledge locked in a textbook does not automatically transfer to speaking. You have to use the grammar in real sentences you create yourself.
And waiting until you feel ready to speak. Speaking always feels scary before you start. The only thing that makes it less scary is doing it. Every time you speak English, even imperfectly, you are reducing the fear and building the skill simultaneously.
Now, let me give you a simple daily English plan that combines everything we've talked about and fits into a regular busy day.
In the morning, while getting ready, listen to a short English podcast or watch a 5-minute English video. That's 15 to 20 minutes of listening input without any extra time needed.
At lunch or during a break, read one short article in English on any topic that interests you. 5 to 10 minutes of reading.
In the evening, while doing something routine like cooking or tidying, describe what you're doing in English. 2 to 3 minutes of mental or verbal English production.
Before bed, write 5 to 10 sentences in your English journal about your day. 10 minutes of writing practice.
And 2 to 3 times a week, watch something in English on a streaming service with English subtitles. This is entertainment that doubles as practice.
That's less than an hour of English a day. Probably 40 to 50 minutes spread across the day in small pieces. And if you do that consistently every day for a year, the progress you'll see will genuinely amaze you.
Because here's what that adds up to. Over a year, that's about 300 hours of English practice. 300 hours of listening, reading, speaking, and writing. That's a transformative amount of practice.
The key word is consistent. Not perfect, not intense, just consistent. Every day, even on tired days, even on busy days, even on days when you feel like it's not working.
It is always working, even on the days when it doesn't feel like it. The seeds are always growing underground.
And the life you're building in English, the conversations you'll have, the opportunities that will open up, the stories you will understand and tell, all of that is ahead of you. You're building it right now, at home, every day.
Your home is your classroom. Use it every day, a little at a time, all the way to fluency.
Thank you so much for being here today. We believe in you, and we'll see you in the next episode.